So today I'm back in Wales and I am on my way to see my first Welsh Bothy for quite a long time. So I'm looking forward to it, but I do have some concerns about this one. Not only does the Mountain Bothy Association website actually warn of a risk of submersion in a bog, especially if you try and travel to this bothy after dark, it has been absolutely torrential rain here all morning. There's a lot of flooding on the roads. I even saw whole football fields and rugby fields underwater. Took me a moment to realise that they weren't rivers, put it that way. So not only is the route to this bothy particularly dangerous on a good day, I think with this heavy rain this morning, I could be in trouble. It's fair to say that if I can make it there, I'm not going to be dry by the time I do. Anyway, let's just get to where the path starts and we're going to have to see what happens. Come on. So we're coming up to quite a high point where you can see pretty much all of the peaks in the area. I found the style that I could see on the OS map, but what looked like a track is actually just a wall, like a border wall. So this is the style, and you can see the wall goes off up there. On the map it looks like this wall goes all the way to the bothy, and I'm sure it does, but up and over all of that. So yeah, it can't be right. So fingers crossed something will become more apparent further down the road. There's a drive that goes down, but it says private. There's another one here with like a post box, so I think there is a house down there, but it does look like you can walk this way. I'm going to go this way, have a quick look. Okay, so I started walking down that road that looked like it was going to go past a property, and the lady actually came out and said to me, I can get there, but it would mean going across some pretty boggy stuff. There's no actual path there, she said. So she brought me back to the wall where the stile was, but she said if I went over the stile and followed the wall up, I'd have to come back over a stile again, and she doesn't think the stile's even there anymore. So it would be a bit difficult climbing over the wall, barbed wire, etc. So she advised staying this side of the wall, keep following it, and eventually when I go up and over I'll see the bothy in the distance, she said. So that's what I'm going to do. It does look trodden down in places, could have been done by sheep or people. There just isn't a straightforward path to this place. Definitely places where you could lose your foot here. You can hear some running water. We're making progress. This part definitely looks like I'm going to lose at least a foot. Another problem I hadn't really accounted for is the height of this coming under the trees. I've been snagging every few minutes. Okay. Yeah. Although this place isn't actually that far away distance wise, having to come across all this and duck under trees, and I don't know, it's definitely not going to be a quick journey. So there's no doubt it's more open on the other side of the wall. Just a question of how easy it'd be to get back over the wall with that barbed wire there if there's no stile anymore. This stuff is everywhere, and it's all like knotted tufts of grass, and just off of there you could actually fall. So yeah, I was really concentrating on where to put my feet, and then I was like, where's the wall? I haven't gone too far, but I didn't go up by the wall. I've strayed off somehow. Okay, it's easy to see why I followed that trail, because there's nothing by the wall, just trees. There's no way I'm going to be able to go alongside it. I'm beginning to wonder if the other side would be the better option, and I'm just going to have to work out how to get back over again when I get near the bothy. I'll give it another chance, and if it starts going back towards the wall, then we'll be okay. Maybe this trail is just avoiding these trees. Okay, so I made it. It's come back to a wall that's kind of broken in the middle, and the trail looks like it carries on again. Okay, my feet are a little bit wet, haven't sunk just yet, touch wood. This is the kind of stuff that we're walking into, and with the trees either side of it, they're making it difficult to walk around them. I can see the wall up there, don't know if you can, through the trees, and this still does resemble some sort of trodden path. So I am feeling fairly confident. Okay, I've made my way through all of that, and I've come to this kind of rocky area right next to that peak we can see back there. So we obviously have climbed quite high without realising it, but hopefully it's going to open out a bit more as we go over the other side, and we should at least be able to see the bothy in the distance, and that will give me something to aim for then. So I've come across another wall just in front of me, and I think that is what's left of the style. Looks kind of usable on the other side, but this side is just completely rotted and fallen to pieces. So I've got no choice but to try and clamber over these and hope that they don't fall out from under me. But at least there's no barbed wire on top of it, so that makes it marginally safer. Well, I made it, but that wasn't easy. I basically tried to climb up and over onto the good side of the stile, only to realise that the bottom rungs of that were missing too, and that comes up to my waist. So yeah, my legs weren't long enough to step down properly. Honestly. So yeah, we've kind of got to the top, so hopefully we'll be able to see the Bothy soon. So peaceful. So it looks like the wall's going to go down the other side, and that's bound to be where the Bothy is. I think I'm the only one up here, but that does not mean the Bothy will be empty. We know this much by now. This Bothy is not a small one, it is a big one. However, there are some unknowns here. The last video I saw on this place showed that the upstairs was closed off because it had woodworm or something. However, when you go on the NBA website, it doesn't say anything about it. It does say, however, that there's a rat problem there. So, not only have I got probably covered in ticks, wet feet, but I'm going to get terrorized by giant rats and potentially not even be able to sleep anywhere because the upstairs might still be closed off. What am I doing? Still muddy, but still more grass than pond stuff. When it's this kind of terrain, I can make a bit more progress. Looks like someone's driven up here. I'm getting very muddy now. Oh dear. Look at that. Okay, the Bothy has revealed itself just there behind those trees. So yeah, it really doesn't look that far. It's just slow going on this kind of terrain. Can't see any smoke or anyone walking around the building, and the windows look dark, so potentially nobody's there. But we've still got quite a lot of wet stuff between us and the Bothy itself. Now it's very tempting once you see the Bothy to just make a beeline for it, but that's a bad idea by the looks of it. There's the Bothy, and here is a big swamp. That really does look like you're going to go in up to your knees in places. Well, my feet are waterlogged now. I mean, my boots are a bit wet up until I got to this big boggy section. Now my feet are absolutely soaked. Thank goodness I've got something to change into. And there it is now. We are so close. Despite getting here with a couple of hours before sundown, the dark day has definitely made an impact, and it's getting very, very gloomy now. So I've just got to get from here to there before it gets dark. Okay, so as if bogs weren't bad enough, it turns out there are abandoned quarries and mine shafts here as well. Oh my god. It says keep strictly to footpath. Again, this stile is broken, so got to be careful going over it in case it snaps. Almost made it there and it started chucking it down with rain. Luckily, at that point, I'm on this kind of grazed grass area, so I could put my pack down without it getting soaked. But this really doesn't look much like a footpath. I don't know what the sign is on about. I guess I'm just gonna have to be careful and just head in the general direction of the Bothy now. It's chucking it down with rain now. I almost got there before it started raining. Oh no. I can't believe it. I honestly thought all this nice freshly grazed grass and solid ground was going to go all the way to the Bothy. How naive. Turns out there's a bit of a river crossing by the looks of it. Unbelievable. This trek to the Bothy is memorable, if nothing else. So yeah, it looks like you can stepping stone over that, but that's rushing over there quite fast. I'm going to put the camera away before I attempt that. Could be slippery as well. I made it, but that was dodgy. The water came over my boots, it was that deep. Bit of an illusion that it was quite shallow over the rock. Now I'm looking back at it, I probably should have waded across all that stuff there because it's much narrower. I could have probably just hopped across there. Now I'm pretty sure this is the way when it's not been raining heavily. That rock would have been exposed if it wasn't for the water running off the hills. But it's within reach now, we are nearly there. Thank goodness, because we are losing light. There she is. And the grass is looking better in places, so hopefully now it's straightforward. Oop. Yeah, still got to be careful. Oh, there's a lot of running water, loose rocks. It's kind of another ditch here, honestly. Oh, at least it's fairly solid there by the looks of it. Oh. Right. Okay, we're nearly there. Yes. Oh my god. It looks like we're there. Whew. Does look dark. I'll be surprised if anyone's in there. It could be the biggest one I've come to so far. If you include the outbuildings. I'm not sure if we can even get in those. There we go. Oh my goodness. We made it. Thank goodness. So, we have arrived at Cae Amos Bothy. Give the place a knock even though I'm fairly sure no one's in. Hello? Oh wow. Got kind of an outbuilding here with chairs. Oh, it smells very earthy. Oh. Yeah. The door's got a bit jammed. Well, right, it's dark in here, but the upstairs does look open, so that is good news. Right, I can't see a thing. I'm gonna have to get some light on the situation. Okay, got some light in here. Got my LED light up there. Can't quite put it centrally in the room. There's no hooks up there, which is a bit of a shame, but that'll do. It's just above open fire, which has got almost a leg of wood in there. It looks like a foot. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that burning very easily, so I'll just fish that out of there, I think. Got a nice recliner chair and some bench seating on the back wall there. Got a table and a little bench there and some more bench seating. But to see the rest of the house, we're going to have to go by torchlight. Alright, so this is the entrance. You've got that nice gate to stop the sheep getting in. Let's just close that anyway. Looks like some sheep's skulls. I'm not sure what's going on with that feature there, but it looks like something out of The Last of Us. Anyway, let's have a look. Right, so what we got here? Oh, there's a bit of a step there. Didn't even realise that. So we have got some cooking areas by the looks of it, which is really cool. A couple of sinks to wash up. That's awesome. What's this hatch? Oh wow. A strange hatch through into an outbuilding. There we go. Let's just leave that closed, I think. Anyway, let's have a look upstairs. In the video I saw, this whole area was sealed over by a big piece of wood, MDF or something, which made sleeping arrangements very, very tight. Oh wow. Yes. There we go. Look at that. Those camp beds definitely look a bit soiled, has to be said. They've seen better days. I love that chimney structure, that is awesome. So cool. Lots of stains. None of them look particularly clean. Let's have a look. It's a nice big space up here though. Yeah, they all look blooming nasty, they really do. I'm not sure I want to sleep on one of them. I mean, look at the state of that one. What even is that? So yeah, this is a lovely big space and I'm glad it's open. Because if anyone else turns up, then they can sleep up here. But I am very tempted to just sleep downstairs on one of those bench seats near the fire. Anyway, let's go back downstairs. Can't believe how quickly it got dark. I only just made it. It's crazy. Right, so what we got here. Okay, so whatever that is padlocked. It's oh yeah, it's just absolutely full up in there with bits and bobs that the NBA use, I guess, to repair the place. Let's have a look. Oh wow, some kind of slate seating. That's really cool. Not sure how comfortable it'd be, but it's clever. Right, we've got a water butt. Someone's left some hand soap. What have we got? Oh, there's another room down the back there. Let's go and have a look at that. So this is where the hatch from the kitchen opens into. But what's this room at the back? Let's have a look. Guess it must have been, I don't know, some sort of stable at some point. Aha! I did read that this place potentially had a flushable toilet, which is crazy if that's true. But there is some pipework there and a tank. So where's this water coming from? How are they getting water all the way up here, unless it's coming from one of the drainage ditches maybe? Oh, from the guttering. So it must fill the tank up via, there's two pipes, via the gutters and the ditch maybe? Oh my god. That's crazy. I'm not a fan of the compostable toilets. They are generally pretty nasty unless they're quite new. But that is the most impressive toilet I've seen in a bothy to date. So yeah, that definitely beats digging a hole somewhere. Fantastic. And then you've got another little gate out here to the rear of the property. And I guess that kind of outbuilding there is the one we saw with all the gear in it. Alright. Let's settle in for the night. Oh dear. Close this one as well. Oh, blimey. Catches you out when it hits the floor like that. Not a great fit, that one. Alright. Anyway, I'm going to make the place look cosy and then start making some food, I think. I'm starving. Okay, so I was just looking at the fire. I don't know if you can see, but it's very, very wet in there. At first I thought maybe someone had used some water to douse their fire. But if you actually look, the floor all around the fireplace is wet. So I wonder if there's some kind of leak. There's water coming in from the chimney somehow. And it's all over the top here as well. I'm not entirely sure how successful lighting a fire is going to be, which is a bit of a blow. I think it must have been because the rain was so heavy earlier on this morning that it's just completely overwhelmed the chimney. It's literally just like mud in here, and it's not going anywhere. So clearly this was supposed to go on the front of it at some point, but if I lay it in there like that, then it gives the firelog a good inch away from the wet stuff, so it's going to be able to burn and hopefully dry it all out in there. So that's the plan. There we go. So the firelog's going. Hopefully that'll dry out all of the wet stuff in there in the next hour or so. And I don't think it's going to rain tonight, but you never know in this part of the world. It's very changeable. Whoa! What was that? Oh my god. I'm hoping that that was just a change in temperature when I lit the fire. That wasn't good. That really made me jump. Maybe it was that. It's quite flimsy metal. When the temperature changed, it may have made it flex in some way. It was probably something completely rational and not a ghost, but it definitely made me jump out of my skin. Okay, it's only 5:30 in the evening. It's very, very dark outside now, so I really did make it by the skin of my teeth. I've got the fire going behind me, got some candles on the go. It's looking fairly cozy in here, but as you can see from my breath, it's very damp in here. So I think that firelog is going to struggle tonight against the damp. It's still lit, but it's not exactly blazing. But the candles are making the place look a lot nicer at least, so there's that. And for now, I've got my LED above this table here, because I'm not going to cook in the other room. I'm going to cook here. It's much, much nicer. But I'm going to have to get these boots off, because it's like I've got a swamp on each foot. There is actual steam coming off of my feet and my trousers and out of my boots. That's crazy. Okay, so it just dawned on me that if I dry my feet, change my shoes, etc. I'm not going to want to put them back on again to go and look around the outside of the building. It's already pitch black out there, so let's have a quick look around the building in the dark by torchlight, and then I shall dry my feet and start making some food. So let's do it. All right. Oh, I can't believe how quickly it got dark. We can look around inside a bit later. It's just so muddy outside. Oh, so I don't want to put my slippers on and come out here in them. That would be a disaster. It is so dark now. It's ridiculous. So I can still hear a lot of running water. There was some running past the border of the property there on the way in, wasn't there? I just remembered. The trees are looking suitably creepy. Whoa. I just heard a sheep. That sounded like it was right behind me. Yeah, it does look a little bit creepy like that. But it looks like you can go through here. Oh, there's a little kind of slate bridge there. So the building definitely looks a bit creepier from this angle. I really can't see anyone turning up now. I mean, never say never, but the conditions I had to make it here in the daylight were crazy. Imagine doing it in the dark. I think I can hear gunshots in the distance. So yeah, you can see a lot of flooding there. Whoa! Oh my goodness. I'm quite jumpy tonight. So it is looking quite cosy through the window. Looking good. That's where I want to be. Let's go. I think I blooming heard voices then. I'm not joking. I literally heard voices. If that is people coming, then I just can't believe it. It's so dark. Right, tonight I've decided to do minced beef with rice, and I've got a hot chili con carne sauce. So it's got all the red kidney beans in there, etc. Really, really nice, that one is. So, should be a really, really tasty dinner. Hopefully it will turn out that way. So it's a boil in the bag rice, so I'm just going to boil the water up and then set it to simmer and then pop the packet in. Maybe in about 15 minutes it should be done. We'll see. Okay, so I've done the mince, I've got the sauce in there. That's bubbling away nicely. And the rice is simmering away as well in that pot there. So hopefully it'll be done in about 15 minutes, and I've got some ready grated cheese to go on top of it as well. Now, remember when I said I thought I heard a shotgun going off outside? I completely forgot that today is November the 5th, which in the UK is fireworks night. It's basically Guy Fawkes night, they call it. It took me way too long to work out what that was. I'm so bad with dates. But yeah, today's November the 5th, fireworks night. So I finally managed to get the fire going. It was really, really struggling just on the paper of the fire log alone. But as luck would have it, I did manage to track down some firelighters. I'd forgotten to bring some. Luckily, some legend had left some in one of the buckets here under the fireplace. Can still see my breath, still very damp in here. And I hadn't realised that the ground under the stones on the floor here is very wet as well. It's crazy. The foundations to this place are just sodden. So, dinner is done. It's not perfect, but it looks tasty enough to me. Check that out. Steaming hot chili con carne on a bed of rice with grated cheese all over it. Banging. Looking forward to that. The rice has come out a little bit stodgy, but I'm sure once I've mixed it all up, it'll be perfectly fine. I'm going to eat it anyway, because I'm blooming starving. So good. The only thing that would make it even better is if I had a cold beer. So apparently Cae Amos Bothy is a former shepherd's house. It's about 200 years old, they don't know exactly. And I think in the 60s it was taken on by a hiking club or a mountaineering club, and eventually they handed it on to the Mountain Bothy Association. So there's not a great deal of history to this place, other than we know it's a couple of hundred years old and it's changed hands a couple of times, and now it's open to everyone to come and stay, provided they're dedicated enough to come through the swamp. I think I'm just going to stay in now, read through the Bothy book, get cozy, put my bed together, that kind of thing, and probably have an early night. Wow. I honestly thought that was fireworks going off outside. I was just about to go out and find out. But that is water spilling off of the guttering onto the porch area, I think. Wow, that was so deceiving. If it keeps on, it's going to potentially flood the fireplace again, which is not good. From in here, that really sounded like fireworks, especially as they were going off earlier. Right, I've heated up some water. Just going to wash up my pots and pans. It's really cool that you can actually drain stuff down a sink in here. I've never been to a bothy yet where you can do that until this one. It's amazing how little things like that can make such a difference. Right, I've turned the LED light off now, and it's really nice in here, to be fair. Just by candlelight and by the fire alone, I've managed to get it flaring up again by giving it a poke. But also I found that some legend had left some fairy lights. I do love some fairy lights, and these ones look especially cool. Look at that. Love it. I was just having a little look through the Bothy book. I had a look earlier. Yeah, so the book isn't full, and it looks like the last entry was the 26th of October, and today is the 5th of November. So yeah, it looks like I'm the first one who's been here for a couple of weeks, almost. Always love it when people put a little bit of artwork into these Bothy books. More funky artwork. Yaran from the Rainbow Tribe. I have noticed while reading through the Bothy book that a few people have signed off with "We are not YouTubers," because there are a few people that have left their YouTube channel names in here. I get it, not everyone's a YouTuber, but some people are more anti-YouTubers in Bothies than others. This one, for example, that was left on the 3rd of October 2025. Arrived at Cae Amos before heavy evening rain and enjoyed a snug night downstairs. Was not expecting arrivals at 4:30 AM. Struggled to sleep thereafter and packed up and left before the morning storms arrived. And by the way, I hope nobody turns up here at 4:30 in the morning because that's going to freak me out. But it's their PS that caught my attention. Don't have a YouTube channel or TikTok because we're not attention-seeking beeps, ruining Bothies and encouraging idiots to party / leave them in a mess. Don't like, don't subscribe, beep off. Honestly. Okay, I just read in the Bothy book that there's a dragon carving on one of the wooden rafters upstairs, so I didn't notice that earlier. So let's go and check it out. Haven't looked up there since it got dark anyway, so let's do it. Okay, is it spooky? It definitely echoes. Oh my god. I did not expect it to echo quite so badly. It's quite soundproofed in the main living area. But let's have a look. Oh, I wonder, looking at how new all of this is. No, someone has done a really good dragon carving up there. Well, cool. I like that. I'm glad I read that in the Bothy book because I would have completely missed it. It doesn't look that creepy up here. It's very echoey and it's very cold. I would not want to sleep up here this time of the year unless I really had to. Anyway. I can still hear that kind of banging noise, and I really can't tell from in here whether it's the water dripping or whether it's fireworks. No, that is fireworks. Can't see any, you can just hear the bangs. Now, with this door not closing properly, it catches on that stone and on that stone and simply won't close properly. So I'm pretty sure I'll hear anyone coming in. Back into the cosy living room. That fire log is dying now. Right, I've got my bed set up. It's looking so cozy in here now. Don't even have the overhead light on anymore. The light from the fire and the candles is perfectly adequate. It's really, really nice. I did stick the second fire log on because it's getting on for 9 o'clock now, and they normally last about 2 to 3 hours. I put my sleeping mat up on the bench there. It is slightly wider than the actual bench, but not too much. I think I'll be comfortable there. So I noticed that there's a small picture on the wall that looks like this place when it used to be a shepherd's cottage. So I don't know if you can see. So yeah, it looks like there's a man and a woman standing in front of the cottage. There's a dog on the floor as well in front of the lady, and maybe a daughter on the horseback. Yeah, it's quite hard to make out. It's a bit of a blurry image. Seriously, it was a hard life living in this place back in them days, I should imagine. But they managed it. Incredible, really. Okay, it's 9:30 now, so it's quite late. I'm quite tired, and I would like to get up early enough in the morning to be able to get everything done and leave as soon as the sun comes up. So if anything happens during the night, of course, I'll switch the camera on and tell you all about it. Hopefully nothing will happen, no one will turn up, and I'll get a good night's sleep. But we'll see. Anyway, good night. So it's about 6:10 in the morning now. I woke up about 5:30, but that wasn't the first time I woke up. I did wake up kind of every couple of hours just because I was a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, I was warm enough, and I suppose I got about 7 hours sleep. So there were no noises, no unexpected guests in the middle of the night. It was all fine, nice and quiet. One thing I did notice, I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning and it was kind of light outside. And when I looked out of the window, you could see the tops of the peaks and some really striking, almost white clouds in the sky. So it wasn't exactly a clear night, but I can only assume that that light was coming from moonlight, maybe filtering through the clouds, but it was kind of weird. This camera couldn't pick it up, sadly, but I did take a photograph with my phone, which has overexposed it to a degree. But still, it gives you an idea of what I could see at 2 o'clock in the morning, which was just really strange. At a time when there was still about 5 hours before there was going to be any sort of proper daylight, it was just really spooky. So there should be enough light to see my way back through the bogs in about an hour and a half, I think. Maybe a little bit more. So I'm going to drink my coffee and start packing up. And once I've done that, we'll go and have a look outside. Okay, so I'm still in the process of packing up. We're getting there though. I do bring a lot of stuff for my videos. But if you can see outside, it is getting light in the distance there. So let's go and have a little look outside. Still quite dark inside, but that is looking like it might be a nice day. Fingers crossed. Let's have a look. There we go. Right, let's turn the light off. There was, by the looks of it, pretty much a full moon. Can't quite see the full outline because of the mist. But it's not far off being a full moon, I think, which would explain the ethereal glow outside all night long. It actually looks like it could be a very nice morning, and I didn't expect that. The fact that the sky has cleared, I can't hear quite as much rushing water, may be slightly more pleasant than it was on the way in yesterday. We'll just have to wait and see on that front though. I'm not holding my breath. Okay, it's 8:05. It's taken me much longer than I thought it would to pack up and get ready. I did stop for half an hour and try and get a time lapse though, so that didn't help. But I've got to get out of here. It's probably going to take an hour and a half to 2 hours to get back across the bogs again. Hopefully though, it'll be a little bit drier today. A lot of what was there yesterday may well have drained off because it was dry all night and it's a beautiful morning. And look how bright it is in the Bothy. I've got no candles on or anything, no lights. It's just, you can see, when I got here, you couldn't see a blooming thing. You can see how beautiful and bright it is in the Bothy now. So much nicer than when I first got here. Now, because I've got to take my rubbish away with me, I don't really have any spare hands with the trekking poles and the bogs we've got to go through. So I've had to attach it to the back of my pack with a carabiner. So if when I'm recording you can hear this weird rustling sound, that's what it is. But anyway, we've got to go. Make sure I shut all the doors. Well, as much as I can. That rubbish pack is going to be annoying me by the time I get back. There we go. So, goodbye, Cae Amos Bothy. Not sure I'm going to come back to this one. It's a beautiful place, but the trek to get here, if you don't like bogs, is probably your worst nightmare. and I kind of fall into that category. Anyway, speaking of trekking through the bogs, I've got to do it again now, so let's go. I can hear the water rushing. It's probably not going to be much better than it was when I came across yesterday. So I may consider going across the narrower part. We'll see in a minute. There's some water flowing here, but I'm not sure. Does that look any worse or better? It doesn't really, does it? Just about the same, I think. So, oh, there we go. Again, I've no idea what footpath the sign was on about when we came through, because there just isn't one. Yeah, I think my hopes that it may have drained off a little bit are probably pie in the sky. It's no better than it was when I came. Oh, I can't believe it. I haven't even made it to the river section yet, and I just put my foot right into a big bog hole. I got to be careful because I'm kind of eager to get out of here, but I don't want to make any mistakes. Good job I made one straight away, because that's kind of sobered me up a little bit and reminded me to take it easy. Look at that. You can see all of the peaks in Snowdonia on the horizon there. Absolutely beautiful. Right, I'm coming up to the little river. Still sounds quite fast. That is so much better. The rock is exposed and dry. Well, drier than yesterday. So that's much better. But I'm still going to put the camera away. I don't want to risk dropping it in there and never find it again. Wow, the sun's really come out now. I love it when you can see the rays shooting out from the clouds. Heavenly. We're back at this stile. We've got to go through all that nasty stuff again. But once I get further up, I'm going to go through to the other side of the wall, because I'm not convinced the way I came was the right one. So it's worth having a look, and it might be a better route back. So I just had to stop and take my hat and jumper off because I was getting really, really hot. I haven't actually made it that far away from the Bothy. But anyway, this is the gap in the wall I was talking about. This side of the wall definitely looks, at least as far as I can see at the moment, much more open. It certainly doesn't mean it's going to be any less boggy, but remove the trees from the equation and at least I'm not going to get snagged every 5 minutes with my backpack. Honestly, I can't believe this. It's so much better than the way I came in. And look, I've come all the way up there, and apart from a few puddles here and there, it's just like that. It's pretty much solid all the way down. I wonder if that local lady was having a laugh with me. She sent me on a really tricky route just to mess with me, maybe. I don't know. So far, this side of the wall looks 10 times better than that side of the wall. I've managed to make really good progress that I wouldn't have made over there. So yeah, that's crazy. Damn. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so I've come up against my first hurdle on this side of the wall, but it's still not too bad, I don't think. Got a bit of a scramble down these rocks before it meets up with that trail again. And looks slightly flooded down the bottom there, but it's going to start going up again in a minute. Okay, so I am facing some obstacles now. And lots of flowing water and, you know, slightly sinkable areas. You know, features like this that make you have to go away from the wall and over. But as long as I keep that wall in sight, it should be fine. I've definitely made much more progress than I did on the way in last night. It's such a clear morning that you can actually see the sea now. I've just come around this big hill here and you can just see it in the distance there. On the other side of that is Ireland, the country island. So yeah, you can see a little bit more of the sea now. You can see there's an island out there on the end. That's Bardsey Island, I've just checked, and that is St George's Channel, and that is basically the channel that separates Wales from Ireland. I can't believe it. It's only taken me an hour to get back to the stile where I started yesterday evening, and that is where I was umming and ahhing saying no, this can't be it. And if I hadn't have wandered off trying to find another way and the lady sending me this side of the wall when it was much easier that side, I would have definitely got to the Bothy way before it got dark. So I'm very, very disappointed that I didn't just trust my gut and take this route in the first place. Morning, ladies. So I hope you enjoyed my Boggy Bothy adventure. Another Boggy Bothy adventure, to be fair, but this was probably the worst one I've ever been on. It certainly felt like an adventure, but the Bothy itself was really, really nice. Looks like it's only recently been done up, so if you can make your way there safely, it's well worth it in the end. Beautiful Bothy. Anyway, if you did enjoy the video, then please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support the channel now, you can also become a member. If you go to my homepage, you'll see a join button next to the subscribe button. If you tap that, it'll give you all the details, and I would very much appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.